Express. So PT Usha is known by the name Paioli Express. PT Usha was born in Kannur. She was trained under Nambiar. He is the coach of PT Usha. And she won, as I told you, she created many national records in running. So this personality is very prominent in sports field. So next personality we will see is Mother Teresa. As all of you know that Mother Teresa is the symbol of charity and love. In her life, she did a lot of social work, especially in Calcutta. When we see the life of Mother Teresa, she was a nun. She was born in Albania. She was the youngest daughter. Her father died in an early age. So her mother brought these children with the help of small entrepreneur activity. So Mother Teresa had that feeling, this feeling of empathy and sympathy for poor people. As all of you know that Mother Teresa started a congregation, or she belongs to the congregation of Missionaries of Charity. They worked among slum people. Their motive was to give education to the poor children. As all of you know that education is the most powerful weapon to achieve empowerment. Whether it is a female child, whether it is a male child, education is a powerful weapon to achieve empowerment. So Mother Teresa started working among slum areas. She was also trained as a nurse. She worked among leprosy patients. She gave them a dignified death. She never gave any attention to the religious disparity. Whether it is a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Sikh, whoever be it is, she will take care of them. She opened many institutions to provide them education. She started working as a teacher, especially among the children of slum areas. In the initial years, she don't had any educational institution. She don't had even a board to write. But it is the people who are impressed of her work, her attitude. She was not an Indian, but she is living for Indians. She is working among the poor people, poor Indians. So many people donated many things. For example, board, desk, bench, institution, staying home. All these things being provided to her. And what she did is, she used all these facilities for poor people. Now also, missionaries of charities are working great. They are working in different field. They are so selflessness. They are the symbol of love and charity. So this is about Mother Teresa. Because of her work, she was given Nobel Prize for Peace. As all of you know that Nobel Prize is the highest award which a citizen can get. So she won the Nobel Prize for Peace for her work among the poor people. Next is Dr. Lakshmi Reddy. As all of you already know, I have already discussed about this personality. Dr. Lakshmi Reddy. She was educated at the time where it is not possible for a girl to get education. It is only because of her father's effort she was able to get education. Her father was a teacher. He was a principal of Maharaja's College. So in that college, she was the only girl who is studying in that college. Remaining all the students are male only, because at that time in the society, getting education is very, very difficult. As all of you know that Malala Yousafzai, she fought in Afghanistan for the education of women, education of girl child. Like that, in that time period in India also, there were severe restrictions for women to get education. So Dr. Muthilakshmi Reddy's father was very determined. He took a decision that his daughter should get education, proper formal education, and she was very good at studies. After completing her graduation, she completed her medical degree and she started working. When we see her career, she worked mainly for women and children. She started a separate ward for children in the hospital. She was very keen to service the poor and vulnerable children and vulnerable women. She was elected into the Madras legislature. She was the first female who got elected into Madras legislature. In the later phase, she started a cancer institute in Adayar because her own sister died of cancer. So she came to know about, she had a personal experience. So she thought she can do a lot of things for cancer patients. So she started Cancer Institute in Adayar, and many people got treatment for cancer in Adayar. She worked in international movement also. Next personality we will see is Subalakshmi. As all of you know that Subalakshmi is a wonderful, fabulous singer. She was trained in both Carnatic and Hindustani music. From her initial years onwards, she was trained in music. Her mother belonged to Devadasi community. As you know that what is Devadasi system? Devadasi system means in that system, women will be, at the early age. As a child, the girl child will be given to the temple as a gift. And the girl have to spend her whole life in that temple. So from childhood onwards, she got opportunity to perform music in temples and do kirtanas. She got opportunity to meet with different musicians who are also fabulous singers. She did concerts in many countries, London, France, Russia. In many countries she did concert, and our Indian culture was popularized. Musical culture was popularized. As I told you, she was trained in both Carnatic and Hindustani music, and she acted in some of the movies also. One of her famous movies, Mirabai, in which she played the lead role. So as an actress also, as a singer also, she performed very well. So these are some of the important women personality who gave immense contribution. Now we will see some of the rights of women. We have already done a session on that, so I will just summarize the recent developments. As all of you know that now we as women, we have some certain privileges. Now we can have a ration card in our own name. Initially, when the ration card was released, the head of the family, the father will be the head. Now it is being given to the power being given to the women. We have to remember one thing. It is because of many women who really struggled and worked hard for the betterment of women. It is because of them only now we are in such a position. As you know that, as I told you, these personalities, these are some of the symbols or some of the jewels. Like that, we also have certain responsibility towards the society. For that, we need to get education. Education can only empower women. because education will give us a sense of responsibility and entitlements. If we don't know what is our rights, we cannot avail it, we cannot argue for it. If our rights are denied, even we will not know that our rights are denied. So as a citizens of India, we all have the rights to live in this country with dignity. We all have right to education. We all have right to equality. As we are growing up, it is our responsibility to bring the best out of ourselves. We have to educate ourselves and we have to earn by ourselves. Economic independence is one of the key criteria. That is why in the case of family budget, women can play a major role. Budget is nothing but a financial arrangement for a month. Every state in India has a budget, and India as a country also have a budget. So budget will help us to regulate our finances. To create a proper budget, we need to have a certain set of revenue. Without revenue, we cannot meet the budget. We cannot meet the expenditure. So by considering our revenue, we have to formulate a good family budget that can help us to improve the standard of living. Family budget is one of the important component that every family need to have, and women can play a major role. So there are different types of budget: surplus budget, deficit budget, and balanced budget. Why this budget is important? See, there are unforeseen emergencies can happen in everybody's family. For these unforeseen emergencies, we need to have a certain fund. Otherwise, that will lead to financial difficulty, financial struggle. So every family needs to have a certain percentage of saving. That can only help the family to meet the emergencies. That can help them to regulate the expenditure with respect to the revenue. As all of you know that there are different types of budget. The first one is surplus budget. What do you mean by surplus budget? In surplus budget, revenue is greater than expenditure. Suppose if I am getting 10,000 rupees and my expenditure is only 8,000. So I am having a surplus budget because my revenue is much higher than my expenditure. That is 2,000 of surplus is there. So these type of budgets are called surplus budget. What do you mean by deficit budget? Deficit budget means when the expenditure is more than the revenue. That means I am getting only 10,000 rupees, but my expenditure is 12,000. So this type of budget are called deficit budget, in which 2,000 rupees is deficit. Now we will see balanced budget. In balanced budget, both the revenue and expenditure are equal. So this is called balanced budget. So budget is a very important component in the society and in the family also. Thank you for listening.